Hey guys, are you ready to clean the tank? I know the tank is ready to be cleaned. Now this is what your tank would look like after a 2-week vacation or 2 weeks of being away, not attending the tank and just letting it autopilot. There's two reasons why I did this. The first reason is I wanted to experiment with this because my friend told me that the longer you don't touch your tank and just let it go by itself, the better your corals grow and the better the colors turned out to be. So I wanted to give it a try. The colors look the same, but I do see some growth. And the second reason why I did this is because I wanted to do a video for you guys to show you what it's like or what I do if I was on a vacation for so long and came back home, or if I was on a camping trip and came back home and my tank looked like this. So I'm gonna show you how I would clean my tank, not necessarily whatever I do. It may not be standard, it may not even work for you, because I know this tank is a back filtration system that has some sponges that some of you guys run a sump, and I used to run a sump setup as well. And just so if you want to check out that video, I think I might still have it in my channel of the old setup I have, and I did a cleaning video. But this one specifically, just some things that I do. But before we start, we gotta give that proper intro. Welcome to another episode of Reef Keeping. Thank you for coming back again. Alright, so here it is. As you can see, snails are everywhere. And this is why it's important to have cleanup crew, because even though you don't attend to your tank, you can see where the snails are eating the algae. They're doing their work, right? Check this out right here. All these baby snails are popping up. So it's kind of cool. It's prompted some breeding for the snails. So I think it's pretty interesting, but nonetheless it looks ugly, like you guys know, but we're gonna clean it up. Now there were some road bumps along the way with this, so it hasn't been just easy sailing. And the number one road bump along the way was last month. I was experiencing a lot of just RTN. Some of my corals just bleached and had no idea what it was. First I thought it was red bug, and it wasn't, because I was looking around, just trying to monitor my tank, and there were no red bugs. Second, I thought it was just too much lighting, and it wasn't, because I have some corals at different levels and they seem to be fine to me. Third, I thought it was an off balance of chemicals, but I checked every week and it wasn't an off balance, so it was really bothering me, and I finally think I found it. And what it was is that I didn't notice, but my pH was at 8.775. Now I just put in some vinegar to offset that and lower it back down, but I believe, and I'm hoping that is it. I'm just crossing my finger. I hope that is the cause of this, of what's killing off some of my SPS. Now I did lose a couple things here and there, but the big colonies are doing great, which is good, and I hope that I can just offset it, and hopefully it'll get back to how it is. So now that we talked about a couple things that I experienced over the week, what I would do is, if I came back and my tank looked like this, the first thing I would do is that I would always do a chemical check. For me, it's always the best way to tell your current levels of chemicals, because some people, they come back, they do a water change, and then they do a chemistry check, but then you already kind of refilled the chemicals with the new water that you just added. So for me, if I want to know my current chemical levels, like calcium alkalinity, which I always do, I do the test first. However, in the cases that you come back and your tank is overheating or whatever, then yeah, go ahead, switch out your water as soon as possible, because you don't want to have that offset anything else. But the first thing you want to do is not panic and just take precautions, like check your water level and your chemical levels, and then just go from there. Now second is that I would personally, at this stage, I don't know if you can hear, my dog is barking upstairs, but right now I would just take a razor blade. Now this one is a rusty one, but I got some more razor blades, and seeing that I only have two hands, I'm going to put down the camera. But what I want to do at this moment is just razor blade off all this nasty stuff, and try to be careful, because I know you guys have seals on this side. The Red Sea doesn't have any seals, so thankfully I can go around the curve. And also be careful with scratching your tank. if you don't have a razor, now you can buy a scrub and just scrub it down. Actually, I would actually do that first before razors. Razors is like my last resort for things that I cannot get out. So get a scrub, and I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna scrub this all off, and in that way, you know, I leave the pump going, leave everything going. At least all this gunk is gonna go in the back to my sponges, and it's gonna collect all that crap back there because I'm gonna clean off those sponge before I refill the water. So right now, gotta turn off the camera. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a nice cleaning around the tank, and I'll turn the camera back on to give you a look at what it looks like. So it's gonna look like, you know, a total 180 here. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys back in a bit. Alright guys, a lot of scrubbing was done. Now this is where the razor comes in, right? This is what I was using earlier, and it did a great job. Actually, I used this majority of the way, and then I used this for, you know, a little harder places to scrub. And then now Coralline algae, I don't like it when it's on the display. In the back it's awesome, it shows the maturity of the tank, but when it's on the display, I take a razor and I try to cut it off. As you can see on this side right here, there's a lot of it building up, and on this side and this. So this is what I'm talking about with the razor. Also, when I first said that I didn't see any colors changes in the corals, I lied because the algae was covering up the corals so much I couldn't even see it. But yeah, I did notice that this is turning more green. It used to be brown, but this is more green. And this definitely brought out some coral color, bluish green. So that's pretty exciting. And as you know, just cleaning the tank, you knock off, unfortunately you do knock off some SPS pieces, but that's fine. Another interesting thing, now when I said that some of my corals were experiencing RTN and burning off, these are the ones right here, these two, you can tell they're really white, and some other ones in the back. But here's the interesting thing. While that was going on, this coral grew pretty good, and it used to be a little like, it used to be a little, just a tiny piece. It wasn't even like, large at all. I just placed it there and it started growing, so that's pretty cool. So in the midst of losing some stuff, some good came out of it. So now I'm gonna continue scrubbing down the tank, and then we'll continue. And this light is really bright right now, it's getting really hot, so I'm gonna try to do this as soon as possible. So I'll get you guys back here in a bit once I get the sponges out, and I'll show you how I clean those. Alright, so the tank is looking much better. As you can see, things are clear. You can actually see what corals are in there, and here's some of the losses that we got. Just a couple frags, and good thing they're frags and they're not big colonies. Also, whatever is starting to bleach or starting to die off, make sure to cut it at the tip and try to put some glue on it so you can stop it from further spreading throughout the whole coral. That has worked for me. I know it's a hit or miss. Some people try it and it doesn't work, and some people try and it works. But as you can see, excuse me, I took the razor, cleaned off that area over here and cleaned off this area. I don't want to go too deep because for me the pump is there anyways. There's no, I'm not using it as a viewing area. It's not a viewing area, so there's no need for that. And also, if you are using the razor, like I said, be very careful, because when you do scratch the glass, believe me, as small as the scratch can be, you are the only one that notices it. Even like, when your friends come over, like, oh, nice tank, and you're like, no, it's not. There's a scratch right there, and I've had that before, and it bugged me for, the whole ownership of the tank. But anyways, getting back to where we were, everything scrubbed down. Now I'm gonna do a sponge clean. So I took off the skimmer, and even though it doesn't look clean at all, look at that, it's kind of hard to get back there even with a toothbrush. I try to clean as much as I can in the area around here, and this is as clean as it usually gets for the Red Sea, the hang in the back. Unfortunately, it's not, just a round skimmer cup and you could clean it easier, but that's just how they're designed. But I pulled out the sponges. You can see the sponges. I don't know if you could tell. I don't know if there's enough lighting, but trying to look, and it's really dirty. So this needs to be, just for me, I hand wash it myself. People tend to do machine wash too, but I don't want to use like detergent or anything like bleach or anything like that. I know some people, especially for those of you who have a sump, you have the filter socks, and that's what I used to use when I had a sump. And if you don't have a filter sock, look into investing in those. Those are really, good for just keeping up the big chunks of just dirt or detritus that falls into the sump. it keeps your tank clean. The only downside is that you do have to clean the filter socks quite a bit, just like these. I clean them out. Actually, this is the second week. I didn't clean them last week, so you can tell they're pretty dirty because they haven't been cleaned. So now I'm gonna take this in the bathtub, rinse it out probably 6-7 times until I feel like they're clean enough. Then I'll come in here and filter out the dirty water. I'll suck out the all the nasty stuff that went to the bottom when I was cleaning the tank surface and the glass. But yep, I'm gonna clean these out and I'll keep you guys updated here. I'll show you, you know, once I get the water out, and then I'll refill the tank. So see you guys in a bit. All right, everything is done. Oh my gosh, this tank is like 500 times better. I can see corals are looking good. Hopefully I can lower my pH and everything resumes normal back to how it is. Hopefully I won't run into this again. The summer tends to be a busy season for me to camp and travel quite a bit, so I, you know, do run into these problems. And when I do, this is what I do to resolve it. The dirty water is right here. As you can see, really dirty. It's got a lot of sand, got a lot of gunk in it. And I already poured in the clean water. So now, back to the good life. Able to view my tank and enjoy it more. If you guys do anything differently, let me know. Always thank you for sharing, subscribing, and joining this journey with me. I learn new things like you guys every day, like lowering my pH with vinegar. And now I'm off, so hopefully you guys have a good week. Remember, always keep reefing, and as always, thanks again. See you guys next time. Have a good one, guys.